If you love Bozeman or want the amenities of Bozeman, but want to be in a little bit more of a country setting, you have a few options. And only 15 minutes from Bozeman is a charming place called Churchill. We're going to take a look at one of the homes that is brand new and available now. We're out in Churchill today. This adorable neighborhood is called Amsterdam Village. We're basically at the intersection of where Churchill meets the road to Amsterdam, so hence the name. These homes are all, I would say, similar in size, but the point of, or one of the hopes of how they design the neighborhood is to keep it very open. You don't see fences. There are a couple that have fences, and I am wondering if they got variances because the covenants state that they discourage fencing. So they really want it to feel open, like you're in the country. You can see construction is still going on. There are still plenty of vacant lots out here. It's a fairly new neighborhood. You can see the farmland that surrounds. So as you can see, this home is brand new, but the landscaping is in. Sod, trees, you can see the well from this side over there. So to give you an idea of directions, the home itself sits so that south facing is that direction. So obviously north would be facing this way. One good thing about the way the home that sits is you will have lots of sun on the doors to your garage and your driveway. So in the winter, keep that in mind. You won't have ice setting up in front of your doors. Nice covered patio. You can see the beam work here. All right, let's go inside. So as you walk in, you are in the living room, dining kitchen area, I suppose I should say. So before I show you all of that, there is a little area here. You could easily put a bench like this one is. And then on this side, you also have room for a table. So you do have a little bit of an entry space before you are in the living room itself. But it does open up, as you can see, directly into the living room. Gas fireplace, vaulted ceilings. You can see the beams. It is beautiful. And then it continues dining into the kitchen there. So let's start on this side. Going into the kitchen. So let me do a pan for you here. You do have this staircase off the kitchen. I like that it's not right at the front door, but it's still close. So you have a beautiful quartz countertop, and this island is a waterfall island, meaning it goes over the edge and it's on both sides. So the countertop does go all the way to the floor. Engineered hardwood floors in here as well. Seating for 4 at the island. Gas range, as you can see. You can see the hood matches the rest of the cabinetry. KitchenAid appliances. The hardware matches the faucet, and your sink and your dishwasher are in the island. Deep sink, stainless steel, and then there's your faucet. As I said, it matches your hardware. You have additional counter space over by the refrigerator. And then a really nice feature is this massive butler's pantry. You can see the microwave is in there as well. So in addition to the cabinetry, you have additional counter space. There are outlets in here as well for appliances. And then you have a second sink, which I think is super helpful if you like to cook or if you like to host. It's nice to have a sink that you can kind of have tucked away. And there's lots of light in here. And then it comes out the other side of the kitchen into this little dining area as well. So you have multiple spaces for dining. This part of the house overlooks open space for the neighborhood, which we'll see a little closer in a bit. And then as you saw that vehicle there, that is the main road through Amsterdam, through Churchill. And then off of the kitchen is access to the garage. So here's your mudroom with these built-in cabinets for storage. Tile floor, as you can see. And then in the mudroom is the laundry room, and it has this big, beautiful barn door. So you can close it if you want for some separation. Lots of space in here as well. So you have an additional sink in here and more cabinets. And then that's where your hookups are. So your washer and dryer would go right here. And you do have a shelf up there, but in my opinion, there's, depending on how high your washer and dryer are, you could potentially add a pole here. So if you wanted to be able to hang your clothes, you could certainly do that. Closer so the lighting, you can see the cabinets match the kitchen. And then you can see the neighbor proximity next door. The lots are pretty decent size, but the neighbors are, it is a neighborhood and you are pretty close to your neighbors. And then the garage, it's a 3-car garage. It is heated as well. You can see the heater there. And then from the garage, you can access the water heater and the crawl space. There's your crawl space hatch. I believe the furnace is down there. I did not see it anywhere else. Do the rest of the main level before we go upstairs. So in addition to the little dining nook by the kitchen, you have this dining space. Let me fix this chair. It's driving me nuts. Okay. So a pretty decent sized table. Those chairs are pretty wide, so I think you could easily fit a table for 8 people in this space. Or depending on how much furniture you have for the living room, you could utilize just the other dining space and use this all as living space or at a sitting area. And then your living room, gas fireplace as you saw before, this couch is extra long. I would say it's one whole section. You can see it's kind of 4 cushions instead of the standard 3. So it's more like a sectional size. So you have quite a bit of space right here. You could fit quite a bit of furniture. And you do have space on this side. If you wanted additional storage, you could absolutely add built-in here or just a larger piece of furniture. And then from here, you can access the outside. There you go. Gotta be smarter than the door. Okay. So you can see over there, that patio is accessed off the primary, so it does have its own spot. You can see there is power out here. And then you can see the neighbor's fence where the corner is, that's your back boundary line. So those trees are technically on this property. And then beyond that, let me see if I can zoom in for you. You have the neighborhood open space, and there's a pond back there for the neighborhood. So you can see where the trail starts right there. And it continues along, and it follows the entire length of this part of the neighborhood. So you could hop onto the trail from here if you wanted to, or you could enjoy the pond right out your back door like it's your own. This is a community septic system, and then private well. Idea of the size of the pad back here. It is fully covered, as you can see. Big slider doors as well, so lots of light. And if you do like to entertain or you have quite a few people, easy indoor-outdoor flow. And then back inside. Now from the front door, if you were to go right, you have a powder bath off the living space. With privacy window. And the vanity matches the same finishes as we saw in the kitchen. And then off the living room, you have the primary suite. So as you walk in, you go to the right for the bathroom, another privacy window here, and then you have a vanity on either side of the tub. So if you were to go right, you have a very large walk-in shower. You can see the niches, and there are some corner shelves as well. And the finishes match that as of the rest of the house. I like that this is on the shower wall or on the door wall because you can turn on the shower without needing to get into the shower. When they're large like this, sometimes you see that it's kind of not a practical setup, but this one very much so is. And then you go into your walk-in closet, which is massive. I believe it's 180 square feet, just this closet. And as you can see, the big windows, there's lots of light in here and lots of built-ins. So no shortage of that. And then up here you can see attic access. Carpeted in here and tiled in the bathroom. And then this side is your toilet and your other vanity. Pocket door for the toilet. And continuing on into the bedroom. That's a king-size bed, and the side tables are pretty wide. Give you an idea of size. You have the sconces on the wall, and it's vaulted ceilings in here as well with the same beams as in the living room. And then this is that patio that you saw earlier when we were on the other one. This one is ready for a hot tub. So you can definitely fit a hot tub and still have additional space. You can see the power box there. And you can see your boundary line from here as well. Let me zoom in. You can see, whoops, that's not the right button. You can see where your well is right over here. So this neighborhood is not fully built out yet, so there will be more construction to come. All right, let's head upstairs. I really like the flow of this floor plan. Okay, so the upstairs is carpeted. It's the same as the carpet you saw in the walk-in closet in the primary suite. So when you get to the top here, it splits. You have this big bonus space starting here. So you could have it as a second family room, workout space, office area, playroom, you name it. Lots of options. It's plenty big. Off to this side of the bonus room, you have a large bedroom. Might be, I don't know if it's as deep as the primary suite, but it might be as wide. You could definitely fit a king size bed. You have a nook if you wanted to add furniture. It wouldn't affect the space in this part of the room. And then this one is an ensuite. Fiberglass tub and shower. All the finishes match what we've seen so far downstairs. And then your closet is connected to your bathroom. So you have built-ins on one side, rails on the other. And then on the other side of the bonus, you have your additional bedrooms and bathroom. So bathroom over here. This one does not have a tub. Little vanities in this one, as you can see. There is a separate toilet room. And then this one is also a walk-in shower. There's not glass on this one. You could certainly add glass if you wanted to, or you could hang a shower curtain. And then you have two bedrooms. Both of these are Euro style closets, so it opens right up into the closet itself. So I think in here, hookups for the TV are on this wall. So you would probably put your bed over here. You could probably fit a king with one nightstand without measuring. I think a queen would be more appropriate for that space, but you could make it work if you wanted a king size. And then more built-ins and closet space. And then the last bedroom very similar. From up here, you can kind of see what's around currently. The farmland that you see with the pivots was recently sold. I believe it can be developed, but not with a lot of properties, is my understanding. So I don't know yet what it's going to be. It could be a single residence, might be several homes, but my understanding is it cannot be a full subdivision. And you can see here mixed materials for the roof. So you have the asphalt shingles and then you have metal over the front porch. I would love to know what your favorite part of the house was if you want to drop it in the comments below. Thanks for following and subscribe for more Bozeman property tours.